Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
What up, it's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you're tuned into World Combat Sports.
Yeah, once again, you're tuned in to World Combat Sports. Man, we at it again. Monday. Hopefully everyone had a great day of work. Everybody's safe out there. You know what I'm saying? I know we're not hearing too much about COVID like we used to. It ain't went nowhere, though. It's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But big salute to the supporters as always, man. You're the one that provide, the energy for WCS, man, when we come over here and goddamn get it popping with the topics. Get it popping with the topics. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Get it popping with the topics. So, I know all of you that's in here can read. I need to start. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? Tupac 13. Salute. I need to start being a bit more braggadocious for real. That's not something I do, man. I ain't never been that way. And when I did do it, people didn't think I was serious because I was like talking that shit like it was easy. But man, what did I tell you all? What did I tell you all, man? That's this is a perfect example of how my people, this is not black people, I'm talking about the American citizens. In this community, they sometimes take for granted what we truly know. You know what I'm saying? Like the younger generation may not want to listen to the older generation. It's been like that for whatever, but I'm just saying like they don't really want to pay attention to what you have to say. Especially if you're in the military and you have some experience about this shit. I said that made it perfectly clear that those individuals over there were different. They can give a damn. I said this. I said they can give a damn about you coming back and fighting. These are different individuals, man. They don't give a fuck about how much celebrity you are. They're over there fighting for their right to live. They're fighting to save their country. They're fighting, man. This is real life. This is goddamn as much of a reality that you're going to get outside of hand-to-hand combat in the ring. You're dealing with weapons of destruction. You're dealing with lethal force. You're dealing with putting yourself on the line, life or death. You may not walk up out of there. Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, they might be somewhere, on the detail or whatever. It may not be in the hot zone, but still they have the potential of getting hit with something. I know when I was over there, mortar rounds used to drop every day, so many times. The entire time I was over there, we used to get explosions on base, all that shit. They will walk those weapons in, and just imagine what's going on over there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's war. They're at war. So when I was sitting back listening and, just looking at this shit, I always kept close to this situation because I look at it like if Lomachenko returned back to the U.S., it's going to make that president over there look a bit weak, or anybody that's ahead of the military over there look weak, because they allowed a celebrity to return back when the country is in need of troops, right? They're in need. One man can't win a war, but they can participate in trying to win a war. And when you're dealing with those Ukraine men, they probably look at Lomachenko on one side as respectful, and on the other side, they say, you know what, we can't go to your millionaire home over there. We can't go back to that plush California. And they sit up there and told him straight up. You know, LaBella said it. Lou LaBella then was freaking reaching out. And they say, is he going to be able to get a discharge? And they got a response. Yeah, he'd be discharged. And come to find out, they said no. Oh my God, y'all cats on YouTube. Y'all listen, man. Them cats ain't playing. Military don't work that way, bro. It don't matter what you did in the ring. If you get called to serve in combat, you're just like everybody else. You're just like everybody else, man. I'm just being honest. You're just like everybody else. Man, they denied Lomachenko freaking discharge from over there. They denied this shit, bro. They denied it. Turned it. Denied it. Rejected. Lomachenko's finding out that, hey, this is not a game, bro. That is what is in law in your country. It sucks. But I'm telling you, like I said before, when you get over there in wartime, the first half of it, when you leave an environment, especially in Lomachenko's case, when you leave an environment as such as this, and it's really not your country, you know what I'm saying? But you have made a living, a lucrative, wealthy way of living over here by boxing professionally. And you have to go back over there where you're not living, but in a time where it's in dire need. You know what I'm saying? It's life or death over there. You're fighting a war against another country. The first phase of combat is the anxiety period. That's the first phase. It's a release that you go through mentally to pretty much surrender and admit that you're in a situation that you may not be able to get out of. You go through anxiety. You might go through some depression. You might go through a lot of daydreaming because you're out there looking at shit. It's like, oh my God, I may not make it back. That's what you go through in the first phase of combat. You go through that situation knowing that you may not ever return back to your normal life. And that's what Lomachenko is, you know, hearing the fans cheer, this, that, and the other, to boom, 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 pow, pow, boom, boom. You know, hearing birds fly over all the time, hearing the rotary wings come in that motherfucker, hearing explosions all the time. I don't care if you boxed in the ring. If you go into combat, you start to have a release, an anxiety release. It's tough. It's tough, man. You know, you actually go in those moments where you got to find a little nice, confidential, you know, quiet area to shed some tears. You know what I'm saying? For Lomachenko, I'm pretty sure he did that already. Real talk. I'm pretty sure Lomachenko is found a quiet place and he shedded some tears and say, damn, I'm not as popular or important as I thought I was. They love me in the US. It's not like his country don't love him. It's the fact that you've been called to war, bro. It's not necessarily saying you're going to return. Anything can happen. It's combat. If you're not, look, I told y'all earlier, you thought I was bullshitting. I said, Lomachenko, get up out of there. He ain't going back. If Lomachenko gets up out of there and they try to call him back, he ain't going back, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. He ain't going back. He's going to be just like a defector. He's not going back. And they may lose him some friendship. For real. That may break up him and Alexander Usyk's friendship if he was to do that. Andrew say, every day I check the news, they telling me Russia on the brink of defeat. This might be a sign that's not quite the case. Man, Putin over there, Putin over there effing. Yeah, man. I try to explain to people, man, war is not like you can just do what you want. And like I told people, they called them into war. So just like in the military, most of the time over here, we have rank, we have pre-op, we have pre-deployment operations that we go through. All of that shit to prepare us. This is what we're gonna be dealing with. This is this and this and this. I was a communications officer. I had to help set up communication in enemy territory. You have to prepare yourself. You over here, we go over here and freaking have rank. You got the lower rank to the higher rank. The higher rank is most of the time they're delegating, they're arranging, you know what I'm saying? They're planning. Well, they're not planning. They have to schedule a timeline for certain things to be taken care of so it can happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to stay on a strict timeline over there. Well, with Lomachenko, he's being called into an area where they want him to be in the military type environment, but he doesn't have training like that. He really don't have training. He knows how to fight, but in combat, no one's over there hand fighting with K-bars and motherfucking pocket knives and shit and a little favorite Louisville slugger that you have hiding in your motherfucking trousers. That's not the case. They're shooting. They're setting booby traps. They're fragging the place out. You know what I'm saying? They ain't playing around over there. I mean, listen, it's a lighter side to this. Devin Haney, as much as they have went through, I mean, if it's indeed he's the last, process of elimination. He's the final choice. Good for him. Good for him that he's able to, find himself in a position where he can get the fight with Kambosos. Good for Devin. Because this will erase a lot of what we was talking about previously on this YTC shit. It will erase a lot. We get to see them go in there and fight for all the titles. Whoever wins this fight between Devin Haney and George Kambosos, if indeed it goes down, you never know. They can schedule this fight and then something, I'm injured, because they might get word that Lomachenko may be able to leave there in July. You know what I'm saying? Then Kambosos will act like, oh, well, I got an elbow injury or my pinky, my pinky finger is a little bit stiff. I jammed it the other day, so I'm gonna have to pull out the fight. We don't know if this fight's truly gonna happen yet. But what we do know is that they denied him discharge from his military duties. So they're going on with Devin Haney. This still can be sabotaged because, anything can come up. They can blame COVID. They can blame phantom injuries. They can lie, all that shit. Anything can come up. They just going to continue to just spoon feed the media and make it seem, they doing everything possible. And then you might get something like, all of a sudden, they saying Lomachenko is discharged, and then let some weeks go by, and they say, "Oh, Lomachenko has touched down in California. He's in training camp." What? Like Russell Westbrook said, "What? Nigga, what? Lomachenko's in California. Do it? Oh, so they let him go?" And listen, I will be on record as saying that over there, Lomachenko may not be able to leave there early unless he pay. He might have to come out the pocket. Now, the other soldiers know Loma was trying to leave. How they looking at Loma now? Yeah, true words. You know what I'm saying? True words. Them guys over there understand Loma has a better lifestyle than they do. Everybody understands. Everybody understands Lomachenko has a better lifestyle than they do. They understand Alexander Usyk. I mean, those people over there understand. It doesn't mean that they turn on them and they pretty much, trying to wish them harm. They just know those guys. It's just like in the military, in boot camp, how you have some recruits coming in, their parents got money. I know this because I was a drill instructor down at Paris Island for 3 years. I did a 3-year tour, got the ribbon, t-shirt, all that shit, right? So you have the kids that come down there that spoil, and this is no cap. I had maybe, I think, about 3 to 4 kids whose parents put them in Marine Corps boot camp because they had to prove that they was worthy of getting an inheritance. And they felt that they were so fucking spoiled and didn't realize how good they had it. They just think everything was going to be given to them. They sent them to Marine Corps boot camp to earn it. And it was tough for them kids. It was tough. Little did they know that their parents had already spoke to me. And they was like, whatever you do not kick him out. He needs training. This is everything that he believed he has, because he's a spoiled little brat. We can't get him to do shit, this, and this. All right, cool. So I'm seeing that in the first half, just like I said, going through changes, like Lomachenko's going through changes. Boot camp is somewhat like being in combat for some of these spoiled ass kids. Lomachenko is much older, but these kids aren't. They coming in there and they think they in war. Drill instructors yelling at them, making them do push-ups and set-ups. Motherfuckers crying. They calling their mommy and daddy, "Mommy, this big black man is killing me, mommy, 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 mommy." I'm telling you, man, the first 3-4 weeks, it's on and popping. It's fire. I know because I went to Marine Corps boot camp, man. We on their ass, dog. Now, Lomachenko is in a whole different situation. Lomachenko isn't going to boot camp, bro. He's way past that. Lomachenko is at war. Now, I don't know where he's at as far as his geographical footprint, but either way it goes, he's in a serious situation. He might be inside the wire, or they might say, "Hey, you, take that security detail and go out and sweep the perimeter." That perimeter may be outside where they're subjected to enemy fire. I'm telling you, either one of them guys over there can lose their life right now. Don't think we can't get news that one of these favorite boxers that we know that's reigning champions at one point in time in their professional career could lose their life. It's highly possible. Alexander Usyk can. Klitschko's can. Lomachenko. I know Postel said he was on his way back over there. We ain't hearing shit about Postel. I wonder, did he even go over there? He said he was going back over there. We haven't heard shit about him. But when you have that rich, lavish lifestyle, man, people look at you different. Like, real talk. These recruits that came in there, they was broken down in the first 2 weeks. I'm talking about crying, talking in their sleep. Some of them not sleeping in the bathroom, pacing, trying to see if they can get off the island. We had one kid whose parents had spent real good money on him. Seriously, they spent real good money on him. Taught him how to swim. He competed in swimming in high school, was very good. You know what I'm saying? This dude was very talented. This white guy. He swam Port Royal. This dude swam in sweats in Port Royal. Now Port Royal is known to have some creatures in that motherfucking. He dipped out of the squad bay and swam Port Royal all the way to the damn roadway And that, believe me, it ain't hardly any brothers was able to make that shit. But we've had some swimmers make that shit and get picked up. He made it to the other side, soaking wet, walking. And when you're in boot camp, you have a certain sweat with a number on. They know. The residents know when there's somebody walking around there. They know that's not somebody who's just jogging. And they picked him up and brought him right back. Brought him right back to the squad bay. Told him strip down, change out, go take a shower. Goddamn, put him on some new camis and further him in training. Because just because you try to get off the island doesn't mean you're gonna get kicked out of boot camp. It was one point in time where recruits, when I was coming through, you couldn't be gay in the military. So you had recruits saying that they was gay, right? So I'm not gonna lie, it's some shit. These crews will get desperate to do some shit they ain't never did in their life because they just thought boot camp was the worst. Anyway, back to Lomachenko, man. We'll see what happened in the upcoming days. I'm not gonna hype too much on it, but I told y'all, man, it wasn't gonna be that easy for him to get discharged. When I heard that they was releasing him, I just reported what was in the news. I want to wait and see. Like, I want to know when he's popping up. What's the release date? And Lou DiBella said, let me read you the article. Look, he say, I spoke with Klimas, right? And he confirmed that Loma would not be available to fight George next. That's the same manager of Sergey Kovalov and a lot of other people, right? DiBella said, he thanked me and thanked Kambosos for giving him ample opportunity to make up his mind. And he thanked us for doing the deal in the first place. We had an inkling the other day when the Ukrainian government has said it was okay for Lomachenko to fight, but we didn't hear an affirmative response from Lomachenko. Look what I just told you. Listen to me. They did not get an affirmative response from Lomachenko. We had a sense that this was likely, so we were not shocked. But Egis said, confirmed today, that he's going to stay in the Ukraine. We commend him. We think the fight he's fighting is much bigger than boxing. Oh, for real? Wow, we knew that a long time ago. And it goes on to say, and our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family and with the Ukrainian people. And they're going through, obviously, it's far more significant than any boxing match. So if it was far more significant than any boxing match, people, they wouldn't have requested or summons him to come back over here and fight George Kambosos. Because once he was over here, let's just say Lomachenko wins. He's not going back to Ukraine. As I said before, he is not going back. He will become a defector. He goes home after defecting, he's getting killed. Period. They're locking him up. It's done. And then just to think, he probably has family over there, people, all that shit. It goes on to say, this is from Boxing Scene. We've always said that we're fighting in a stadium in June, DiBella said. We're going to pursue the biggest opportunity that's available, the Haney fight. So that's a last resort, Devin Haney. That's what we said from the beginning. That's what George's instructions were to me. An offer has already gone out to the zone, and Devin Haney will be given the same opportunity to fight on the same terms as Lomachenko. And you know what? That was what Bill Haney was saying on TBV. Give us what you was giving Lomachenko. So we really don't know what was said to them initially, but somehow it pissed off DiBella. So it kind of sucks for DiBella to have to revert back to the very fighter, because they need somebody to make money, that he said that was absurd, ridiculous, and preposterous. Those were his 3 words. That's funny as hell that they didn't get anything back from Lomachenko. That's hilarious. Talking in their sleep. Yeah, man, they talking in their sleep because Like, initially when you first get there, you're not really it takes your body time to acclimate not just the circadian rhythm, but your mental state when you fall asleep. Because you get stressed. Like the first week or two, it's high stress, man. So you coming up out of a comfort of your own home, highly stressed all fucking day, and you go to bed late after being stressed all day in a sand pit, push-ups, pull-ups, just doing any kind of shit that you got going on. So you go to bed and your mind is still somewhat thinking that you're in the comfort of your own home back wherever you came from. That wasn't for everybody. She had some kids coming there that was homeless. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, when your mind go into a dream state, it is so powerful, man. Your mind is so powerful when it goes in the land of Nod. Oh man, it's extremely powerful. And then it allows you to revisit a situation that you've been used to for so long. And it takes young kids several days to get used to knowing that they're not at home no more. You know what I'm saying? Because as drill instructors, we're human too, but we have to walk around the squad bay and see if everybody's doing, especially in the first 2 weeks, to see if they're doing what they're supposed to do. Because it'd be recruits out of the rack trying to talk and plot and plan. You can sneak up on a recruit, man, in a squad bay without them even knowing it. Because what they're trying to do is hide from us. So they hide from us and don't even know we coming. We come around that goddamn rack. Get your ass! I mean, goddamn, that shit shock you. Then it wakes up the squad bay and shit. These motherfuckers are fucking goddamn shocked, having a heart attack, crying and shit. Get in the rack. And then when they get in the rack, you still yelling at them, don't get your ass out that rack again. These motherfuckers, they up the rest of the damn morning. We're not even talking about what Lomachenko has to go through now. Lomachenko has to go through the routine. Lomachenko has his uniform, his payload with him now. He has uniforms. He's not eating as healthy as he could over here. I guarantee it. I'm pretty sure he was basically communicating that at some point before they cut off communication. You know what I'm saying? Because in combat, you don't have, no. They're gonna have Lomachenko talking back and forth with DiBella, trying to arrange shit. And if Lomachenko basically go against the orders of his commander or whoever is in charge of him, he can be punished. Lomachenko's not a big dude. It's a small dude over there. I know he can fight. But like I said before, them dudes ain't fighting you head up, man. Please. They ain't fighting Lomachenko. Some of them dudes will. Them dudes can fight. Some of them. But, man, they gonna goddamn try to end your career. Lomachenko's thinking about all that shit. And people want to talk about heroes. Now you understand what a hero entails. All right? Now you know. You go over to some countries, you just can't bring your ass home when your people are fighting. You gotta fight. So whenever they choose to come, I said this earlier. I said, now if they come back over here near the end of the year, we can actually say they served. They was released. You know what I'm saying? After satisfaction from the way the war is going right now. If the war seemed to digress and they say, okay, now we can reduce the presence of troops over here. They send Oleksandr Usyk and Lomachenko back near the end of the year. Okay, now we can legitimately say, okay, we respect and salute your service over there because you were over there for several months. But Lomachenko, he went over there before Oleksandr Usyk. And he won't come back before? You went after he deployed, and then you want to come back before him. And look, check this out. It's not necessarily saying that Usyk and Lomachenko is in the company of one another. Like they may not be able to communicate. Usyk might be in a whole different unit. I'm telling you, people. Darren brought his ass right back. Comeback was on this Major Pain shit. Man, to be honest, the shit Major Pain was doing in the movie was acting. I was doing the shit for real. That's why my platoon still holds the PFT record, the highest PFT physical fitness test score for a platoon in Paris Island or San Diego. I had a receipt for it, made the paper and everything. But when I was down there, man, I was worse than Major Pain. Major Pain, you know, he didn't do anything entirely physical to me. When you, in the Marine Corps side of the house, you have to be able to go out there and run, do pull-ups. You have to be physically imposing, be able to get this shit. You have to lead by example. Not every drill instructor can do that. But anyway, it's not even about me. I'm just saying, like, I got it in. But with Lomachenko, man, somebody, you know, a couple of people told me, man, you know, why I have no empathy for Lomachenko. I say because I've been in the military already. I've been to combat. When I was on the convoy, wasn't nobody sitting up there babying me and rubbing on my knee. I was a convoy commander. Convoy I went on, I was a senior person in charge. I was, you know, going on those convoys. I mean, like, what the fuck I supposed to? I'm just empty. Like, what do you want me to say? Well, nobody sitting up there giving me some damn desserts before I left. Nobody gave me shit. I ain't get a phone call from mom, dad, nobody. I flew over the motherfucking dirt, landed in Kuwait, hot as fuck, 125, 130. Hot as fuck that I ever look. I say, God damn it, Earth has a hell. Flew over that motherfucker into enemy territory to where the base was and shit like that. Set up and started the the deployment. We was in the combat zone now. It's not the fact I don't have empathy for Lomachenko. I'm just saying I've been there. Like, man, it's just certain mentality we have as vets. Like, we've been there, bro. Like, we've been there. I'm not gonna say because Lomachenko, you know, he fights, he's professional. If your country calling you to fight, go. I know it sucks. I know you want to see your kids. I know you want to see your wife. But guess what? You knew it was coming sooner or later. It's no way that Lomachenko was just thinking that this shit was gonna escalate and he wasn't gonna be a part of it. They already knew that shit. It's just the fact that he was in a predicament. He was trying to get everything arranged, and he did. He was getting shit set up with Kambosos and everything. He really thought that, hey, you know what? If I do this and I get these papers, you know, I'm telling you what happened, people. I'm telling you what happened. He was getting paperwork signed and everything to make it all right, this, and this. You know, he got his manager. He got all that can speak for him, this, that, and the other. He thought that was going to keep him from over there. So when he left, probably he was like, I'm not going to be over here for long because I got a big fight, a championship fight. I have somewhat of celebrity status. People in my country know who I am. Come on, man. Oh, you and Oleksandr Usyk have been champions in boxing. Your people know who you are. But you are at war right now, and those different individuals that's in charge of that enforcement, that military enforcement over there, they don't have the same care and starstruck type of behavior that regular civilians got over there. Their mindset is that I'm leading, I'm in charge, I'm a commander. I have to make decisions. And that's exactly what you see going on. Like, I'm not trying to reel up here and put no omen or anything on Lomachenko and Usyk, but they may not make it back. I'm just saying. I mean, it's like that in combat. I can't tell you how many people that I went over there with that didn't make it back, man. That shit happens. I can't tell you how many people I served on the drill field with that lost their life in combat. People that I served with, walked past all the time, chopped it up with, this, went through the Marine Corps with, and we went over there to war, and they didn't make it back. You know what I'm saying? Like this stuff happens, real talk. So we'll see how it plays out, man. I wish them nothing but the best over there. Of course, you know, I want them to come home to their families and all that. Their tour over there in combat has nothing to do with mine. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with mine. Totally two different countries. But, you know, I wish them the best. But as I said before, I was trying to tell you, I knew he wasn't going to come back. They don't give a fuck about no boxing. They say, who the fuck are you? Man, it's law. If you between this age to this age, you have to go serve. We need you right now. If you don't go over there, you can no longer go back to your country. If you didn't go over there, when Lomachenko didn't go over there when he's supposed to, there's no way that he'd be able to revisit his country ever. Whenever he comes into the country, he'll be arrested. There's no way that he was going to be a conscientious objector, denying going to war, turning it down, rejecting it, and think he was going to go from the U.S. over there back to his country when this was over with. It would never work. That's why they didn't hear anything back from Lomachenko, man. He ain't running shit over there. Usyk ain't running shit over there. But Usyk, in my opinion, he understands it. Usyk is about their life. Usyk isn't just an average dude. Like, Usyk is about their life. He's a bit, he got some nuts scrambled up there. Like, Usyk's about that life, man. You know how Klitschko got up there and talking about, oh, you know, I caught 6 bodies the other night. Usyk, in my opinion, is that guy. It's a tall, you know, I mean, certain people you can just look up and get that vibe that they about that life of combat. And when it comes down for them to serve in the country, there's no way that they're going to damn second guess that. They say, okay, I'm out. Usyk probably told Lomachenko, hey, my friend, I wish you nothing but the best brother. I wish you nothing but the best brother. But I'm going over here to fight. And Lomachenko may not have had that same energy, bro. He might have, you know, got with his wife and kids, and he might have just been a little puppy. He was like, oh, shit, man. Like, I'm not trying to go over there. And then I'm not sure if his wife is Ukrainian or not. She might be. You know what I'm saying? If she has family over there, they family gonna get dealt with. Them people don't fucking play. And then, believe it or not, if he would have denied and rejected going over there, he would have had to look over his shoulder all the time. Like, okay, it would be nice to go back to my country, but I can't. Time he go over there, he's getting arrested. It's done. Do you know, it was his brother, the first brother that I was a chaser for. A chaser is when you have to escort a prisoner, a military prisoner. It was his brother had been UA, unauthorized absence, for like 7 years. And I remember they called me. I'm still a teenager. I'm at my first duty station. Well, I'm in school, rather, in my MOS school, military occupational specialty. And they say, you need to be a chaser for so-and-so. I was like, how old is this guy? He was in his 30s. Early 30s. Light-skinned brother. So I walked up in there. I remember him being in handcuffs and shit. And we escorting him. So we waiting, because it's always a waiting game. So I'm from the city and shit, man. I'm young as fuck. They say, don't talk to the prisoner. I say, man, what they got you for, dog? UA. I said, I heard about that. Article 86 shit. He said, yeah, that's right. That's right. Unauthorized absence, Article 86. I said, what they about to do? He said, I got to go up for court martial. I've been gone for 7 years, 7+ years. I was like, damn, how the fuck did they catch you, dog? I took a plane back somewhere. He said he took a flight back to somewhere. I think he was stationed in California. He went UA from California. So he had to come back over here. Why? Because he had family over there. He thought he'd been gone for several years. When that social security number hit, he said before he knew it, some guys walked up on him. He said, hey, can you? And he already knew what it was. He said he couldn't do shit. So we had to escort this dude that's been gone for 7 years of his life. And now he's about to serve some more because he was gone, unauthorized absent. With Lomachenko, I don't know what they would call it if he didn't go back to Ukraine and serve in the war. But I'm pretty sure their penalty will be harsh. Like real talk. I think the penalty would be harsh. They're trying to mix the game and say it was Loma's short to stay. Politics, Mitch. Come on, man. You know how politics is, bro. You know how politics is. They want to make Loma look as professional. They want to make him look in the best interest of his fans over here because they understand. They don't want to give away too much. But the real talk, Lomachenko probably didn't even know that this was even going on. Like with all this communication, because he's at war. They're not allowing him to come into the command center and damn type messages and talk to people. That's showing favoritism. Look, it's certain cats over there just like over here. We got the Pookie, we got the Half Panks, we got the JoJo's, JJ. You know what I'm saying? We got all the aliases that you can imagine, right? That don't have shit. They always been street dudes and hustlers and all that, and they don't have shit. What do you think over there? It's dudes that just like that over in Ukraine. They don't have shit. They know Loma has shit. And if they have the opportunity to think that he really doesn't want to go, serve his country the correct way, they might try to sabotage him themselves. They might try to get him injured or whatever. I'm telling you, man, it's the mindset. We have shit like this all the time in the US. Logic said, "Combat. I read the cultural minister of Ukraine allowed both Usyk and Loma to leave. Is this not true?" For what I'm hearing, it's not true. Now you have to understand about the agitprop that goes on, especially during wartime. It's in abundance, bro. This is continuous conveyor belt type shit that's being dispersed out to the public. False information all over the place. They put it out there as if Lomachenko had been approved. Okay? And just like I read earlier, if you look at the details on my YouTube or in the description, it says that they pretty much figured out that when the government said, yeah, they will approve it, but yet they never heard anything back from Lomachenko, they kind of like, damn, they wasn't shocked when he wasn't coming back in time to get in camp to make this fight. So they had a reality check. They said, you know what? It's not going to happen. So we got to leave them the fuck alone. They have to leave them alone over there. They can't keep on calling these people up for Lomachenko. They're going to get him fucked up. You cannot sit up here and continue to do that over there. You can't keep calling for Lomachenko. Oh, this is the occasion that we can't. They don't want to hear shit about that. They're at war. Their family members are at danger. There's so much going on over there, man. They have other priorities. Yeah, go to the boxing scene. I'll pull it up for you right quick, bro. And then I'm about to move on. I'll pull it up for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll just pull up one article out here from boxing scene right here. That's the article from boxing scene right there. So look at this right here. It said Vasyl Lomachenko's courageous comments to his country has forced him to withdraw. You know, Mitch just mentioned this, that they made Lomachenko look like it was voluntary, right? Vasyl Lomachenko's courageous commitment to his country has forced him to withdraw from his shot at George Kambosos' junior lightweight titles. Lou DiBella, Kambosos' promoter, informed BoxingScene.com Monday afternoon that Egis Klimas, Lomachenko's manager, informed him earlier Monday that Lomachenko will not leave war-torn Ukraine to train for a June 5th fight against Kambosos in Melbourne, Australia. DiBella and Bob Arum, Lomachenko's promoter, agreed to terms last month for Lomachenko to challenge Kambosos in the 12th round. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot on down. I'm not going through the, who titled. I mean, who record says this and all that. I want you to look at this right here. I spoke to Egis Klimas, and he confirmed that Lomachenko would not be available to fight George Kambosos. He thanked me and thanked Kambosos for giving him ample opportunity to make up his mind, and he thanked us for doing the deal in the first place. We had an inkling the other day when the Ukrainian government has said it was okay for Lomachenko to fight, but we didn't hear an affirmative response from Lomachenko. We had a sense that this was likely, so we were not shocked. That's one of your site's credits right there. It's coming straight from boxing scene. Straight from boxing scene. They're not playing around over there with releasing people to go fight and goddamn here to cheer the crowd. They want you to hear that weaponry, them bombs going off, that gunfire. See, they want you to get into the mindset to defend your country. Was that straight for your logic? Was that straight for your logic? Well, what I heard was the coach Melbourne put in the request, but like you said, there's all kinds of contradicting information out there. Absolutely. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. Salute to Yo G. You say salute Scotty World Combat Sports. Salute to you, man. Ben said, why Kambosos sending Loma love? Kambosos sending Loma love letters talking about after he beats Devin, then he can fight a real fighter in Loma. But WB has mandated Tank versus Kambosos. Good question, man. Like, listen, if you're not one of those individuals that understand the way war is ran or what the rules are, then you're gonna get shit like Kambosos believing Lomachenko is gonna be back real quick to make this money. Them guys play by different rules. Over here in the U.S., we have what is called the Geneva Protocol, right? We have a whole different set of rules ourselves when it comes to war. If you turn down and miss a movement, that means you're supposed to be at this plate, this point of time. You're scheduled to roll out with this unit over in the combat. If you're not there, you're going to pay. You not only are you going to pay, let's just say you're E6. You got a family. You're E6. You got a family. You're getting pretty decent money for military life. Your family are dependent on you. They're on base. And you leave. You miss a movement and leave and go into hiding. And you want to go crying on the mercy of the court and say, I was missing my family. I thought I wasn't going to come back. They don't want to hear shit, dog. They're going to reduce you in rank. Now you're making less money to support your family, and they're going to put you in the brig. Once again, I repeat, they're going to reduce you in rank. You E6. They might reduce you to E5 or E4. And once you get reduced, that shit go into your record book. What you would like to happen is you go up for NJP or court martial, and they defer your punishment. If you don't get in trouble for this amount of times, this goes out. We're going to throw it out. But if you do, all this goes, you go into the brig. Now, what we want you to do is go back, get your pack and everything else, and we're flying you over there. You understand? You better stay out of trouble. See, if that happens, you good. But if they saying you are remanded to the brig ASAP, you're going straight to the brig to serve out your punishment. Then, most of the time, if you go for a court martial like that, you usually don't stay around in the Corps and with a court martial in your record like that, because you're limited to what you can do. You got a lot of years in, and once you reach a certain point, let's just say it used to be 13, but I think they changed that. About 13 years, you had to be E6. The cutoff for a sergeant was like 10 to 13 years. You had to be the next rank. So therefore, if they reduce you in rank, and we're already talking about you as an E6, and they reduce you down, and you, let's just say you're 10 years in, it's no way you picking up E6 before 13 years. There's no way. There's no way in hell. Because when it comes up for you to get promoted for sergeant, they're gonna look at your package. Oh, you got court martial? Nope, denied. You're gonna suffer. Your family's gonna suffer. And don't think your wife won't leave you now. Especially she didn't know what you was doing. Don't think your wife won't leave you. She'll leave you. She'll say, fuck that. I'm not standing around here. And there's no way for you to recover in here. And then most of the time, some of these dudes get bad conduct discharges, man. They get released. You get a bad conduct discharge or other than honorable, you're not going to be able to get no job or nothing. But for Lomachenko's case, Lomachenko will pretty much get dealt with harshly. Like, because he's not in the military. So he'll be disobeying a direct order from the government. So when he defies order from the government, he's going to get punished. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Kambosos can write everything, write this letter, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? They can write. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kambosos is just, they're boxers. I'm pretty sure he's just supporting them and everything else. And this is what they got going on. They have this camaraderie with boxers, but they truly don't understand the magnitude of Lomachenko and Alexander Usyk going over there to battle. They don't. They just think they're going to go over there like it's Disney World and they're going to come back through. They just went over there. No. They're not going to allow you to go back. Now, I can't say what's going to happen several weeks from now. If the whole month of April goes by, right? Because they already said they can't get in fight camp to fight in June. So if the whole month of April go by and Usyk and Lomachenko isn't back yet in the States, it proves what I said. They're fully invested in that war, and they're not just coming back over here quick like that. It's not going to happen. Moving on to my boy Rolly. All right. Okay. Hold on for a second. Let's talk about Rolando Romero, who has 14 victories, 0 defeats, and 12 knockouts. Okay. Rolando Romero's knockout ratio is 85.71%, y'all. 0.71%. His height is 5'8". His reach is 68. Once again, his height is 5'8". His reach is 68. Let's juxtapose this, right? Gervonta Davis, 26 victories, 0 defeats, 24 knockouts. Both of these fighters have 2 less knockouts than their win streak, than their professional wins. Gervonta Davis has a whopping 92.31% knockout ratio. Look at his height, though. His height sits shorter than Rolando Romero, which he's not, it's not anything new to him. He's 5'5.5", y'all. Rolando's 5'8". His reach is 67.5. Rolando is 68. Not too much of a difference there. You feel me? It's not too much of a difference there. Rolando Romero, his last 3 fights, he's 1-2. He has 1 decision out of those last 2 fights. Now, of course, his competition is mediocre comparable to that of Gervonta Davis. But when it comes down to him stepping up his opposition with less experience, less amateur experience, we've seen in the past where 2 things may happen for Romero. Romero may have a moment like Isaac Cruz, who was damn near a little bit shorter than Tank. The same height for shorter than Tank that forced him to fight different. Now Romero is a bit taller. Now we have other variables to deal with. This is going to be a fight that people tune into. Listen to what I'm telling you. People, look, why ever they did Rolly Romero dirty the way they did him, and then you had all these sexual allegations come up, and then the Las Vegas PD end up clearing him of any wrongdoing, of multiple. He had multiple accusations. To all that shit just to breeze away and nothing happened, and then Isaac Cruz comes in here and go the distance. Do you think Rolando Romero was not looking at that? Absolutely, he was observing that shit. He's seen the fight several times already. Rolando Romero versus Gervonta Davis, it's one of those strange, weird dynamics, man. We understand, even though Rolly said he has better boxing skills than Gervonta, we will absolutely say no. We would deny that shit. We don't think Rolando Romero has what it takes, boxing skill wise, to beat Gervonta Davis. But now that we've seen Isaac Cruz contend for 12, Rolando Romero is like, people like really looking at Rolly like, you know what? Rolly's a dog. He's strong. It seems like he has a chin, but I'm looking at it like you never faced anybody in the ring with the punching power of Gervonta. So we don't know if Rolly has that chin where he can get dropped, get back up, and get any stronger, like Tito. Or, he's one of those guys that can take an extensive amount of punishment, but he's not able to inflict any on Gervonta, and the referee stops it. You know what I'm saying? The referee is just going to stop and say, you know what, goddamn Rolly, you too tough for your own good, but we got to stop this fight, else you ain't gonna never box again, man. Because Gervonta Davis is a savage, bro. I don't give a damn what people thought about his fight with Isaac Cruz. Gervonta Davis is absolutely a certified savage in the ring. Now, boxers, they don't perform at the same level every time they step in there. But we can agree that Isaac Cruz skill set and his boxing discipline is different than Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero, he's been all over the place. We really don't know what type of skill set he has. But what we do know, he has that dog nations mentality from being in that TMT gym, being in the dog pound or whatever, the dog house, whatever they call it. He has those tendencies that you see play out in the ring with the cross facing, putting his forearm in his opponent, and just being motherfucking grimy, holding, wrestling, clenching, punching on the inside, just that wrestling, dirty boxing type dude. His last fight, he tried to come out and box. He tried to show us that he's been listening. Rolly did, man. But with Gervonta, like I said before, it's not the fact that Rolly may not get knocked out cleanly by Gervonta. I think if Gervonta is able to start landing shots on Rolly, he may indeed have that ironclad beard. His chin strap may be official. But when it comes down to him taking punishment and hard punches from Gervonta, if it comes down to that, guess what? The referee may stop it. The referee may stop it. Then you have to play devil's advocate, right? You have to give Rolando Romero some type of credit for his strength. He's not a weak dude. Rolly is the type of dude that a street fight, I'm telling you, Rolly's that guy. Like, he's the type of dude that you find out that's a bit stronger than you think and that can really get down. What if Rolly is able to land a punch and touch and send that hallmark to Gervonta? We really don't know how hard Rolly can punch. He say he's the hardest puncher in boxing. That's what Rolando Romero was saying. He said he's the hardest puncher in boxing. In order for him to be the hardest puncher in boxing, he has to be able to get his timing down to land that shot. Now, Gervonta has been known to take some shots now. Sometimes he plays with his food, and it's almost like he tried to pull that out to try to feel how much power you got. Will Rolly be able to get or place Gervonta in a position where he can land his power shots? That's my big question. Let me get some of these comments over here. That's my biggest question for Rolly. Rolly about to share that Blair to Flair fate. Damn. We have people goddamn putting Rolly. Man, I have to play a little bit part of, the interview. Like I told people before, when I met Rolly in person, I really didn't have nothing bad to say, really. Like, if anything, when it comes to Rolly, I owe him an apology for real. But unlike my boy Keon, Keon went in on Rolly, man. Called the man straight up, dog, retarded. At the end of the day, he had a different, he digressed. He had a different, he was a little compassionate. He's like, after hearing him talk, I didn't know he was that. You know what I'm saying? Rolly is a different type of dude. I'm telling you, like, when I dropped my shit and he went and picked it up on his own, I ain't tell him to. He gave it to me. I was like, fuck, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Like he did a good deed. I didn't ask him to do it. But over time, man, Rolly do shit. You know what I'm saying? He has his ways. He did an interview with Brian Custer, which I thought was Rolly Romero's best interview. Period. Hands fucking down. Rolly shined. When I tell you Rolly shined for this fight, Rolly shined in this interview with Brian Custer, dog. He was still goofy, making Brian Custer laugh. Because look, anybody who watched the Charlo interview, you thought Brian Custer was going straight to the damn jacket. All right, strap me in, man. Send me to the room. We thought he was about to get his medication and get put in the psych ward. He had a sad face. He had a gloomy face on his, expression on his face. He didn't look interested. But Rolly, he was smiling and laughing the whole time, dog. Rolly was up there, damn, goofing the fuck off, saying some real shit. There was a lot of malice behind each shot. Rocha was landing on Blair like it was personal for him. Tank doesn't have the same attitude in his fights, strong as he may be. What I've seen from Tank, that he can provide that, Andrew. Gervonta Davis can provide the same malice without even letting it be an exterior component that plays out with his facial expressions. Like, Gervonta can do that shit without being predictable. Like, he can throw that shit with ill will, like it's personal, but it ain't. That's just how good Gervonta is. He can throw some shots with ill will, like you owe him money, like you said something wrong to his mother. He can do that shit, man. That's Gervonta is like that. He's gonna pull out a Rolly, that power. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna pull out that power. Hold on for a second. Yeah, I'm back. Tank definitely got the major edge in skills, no doubt. Cruz is better than Rolly. That would be a crazy fight, Mitch. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a crazy fight for Isaac Cruz to fight Rolando Romero. It would be crazy. That's the fight I would want to see. I would have liked to see, though. I would have liked to see Isaac Cruz and Rolando Romero. Because at the end of the day, Rolando Romero, they would probably pretty much say that'll be a step down for Rolly because he won the interim WBA title. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna look at it like, oh, what has Isaac Cruz did? That would have been a damn good fight. But like I was saying earlier, Gervonta Davis, man, he's a dogmatic type of individual. That I've seen him throw some shots, especially in sparring, where he has no expression. Like it's in there like he's letting you know he's the master of his craft. So some of the shit he's done is just freaking magical. That he can do that in the boxing ring. A lot of shit that happens in sparring you don't see in the ring. But I'm gonna tell you, Rolando Romero, from what we've seen on display with him, his ring IQ is not up there with Gervonta. Now he might have had the best interview with Brian Custer recently, but his ring IQ is not equitable to that of Gervonta Davis at the end of the day. He may have been blessed with strength, you know what I'm saying, and a pretty decent chin, all right? He might have been blessed with, to be strong as a young man. But in the boxing ring, you have to apply more areas to affect and disrupt the rhythm of your opponent. How many levels do Rolando Romero has to fight somebody like Gervonta Davis and get him in a predicament? Can Rolando Romero land a big shot on Gervonta, and will it have any effect on him? You know what I'm saying? Will it have any effect on him? Because we already know that Gervonta is going to fight Rolando Romero different than he did Isaac Cruz. That's self-explanatory, bro. It's extremely efficacious that Rolando Romero don't just look at this as a fight from being familiar with Gervonta being in the same gym, but think from what he's witnessed with Gervonta, he's able to go in there without looking at film and coming up with a game plan. Because I could have sworn at one point in time, Rolando said he don't watch film like that. And not only that, him and Gervonta has never sparred. He said Gervonta didn't show up twice to spar him. He said he didn't show up twice. Now, people have to understand one thing. That's sparring. People look a certain way in sparring. Like I told you, Crawford looked a certain way when he was down here. First time I seen him, he went in there and stopped Sean Porter. Once again, he looked a certain way down here. It was sparring to him. You know what I'm saying? It was a tough sparring that Brian Norman gave him. But he went in there and stopped Sean Porter weeks after that. When Blair talks shit, he acting. Rolly truly believes the words that come out. I agree with that, Andrew. Rolly truly believes the words that coming out his mouth. I believe that. That's true words. I believe that. I agree. Cruz is better boxer than Rolly. He shows solid skills. Man, Cruz, god damn, his defense on point, ain't it? Whoo! He hides that damn power shot real nice. Ben said, just like I think Spencer's gonna punish Ugas because of all that ish Rolly been talking, it feel like Tank is gonna make him quit on the stool. I'm telling you, Rolly might have the chin, but that doesn't mean the referee won't stop it or his corner. Tank can go in there and land bombs on Rolly, and he don't go down. And Tank also understands as an elite boxer as himself, if he continue to load up on those punches, he's going to end up breaking his hand on Rolly's head. So what you want to do? You want to break your hand and pretty much have to make adjustments and go the distance just like you did Isak Cruz, or you want to fight smart? See how strong Rolly's body is. If the head is not willing to fold over just yet, go to the body. That'll give you what you're looking for. Dig to the body, because Gervonta has some crazy body shots now. Go to the body, the head will fall. And we all know Gervonta, if he gets Rolly to fold like an envelope, he's gonna seal that shit up real nice. He loves whipping those uppercuts, just like Tyson used to do. He loved whipping those uppercuts, man. So we'll see what's up. Being boxing on deck, man. What's good? Man, I'm trying to stay off that Spence Ugas fight because, like I said before, I don't know if Spence gonna make it to that fight. But I'm just trying to save my tongue, to even speak on that. I'm not hoping the fight don't happen. I'm just saying I don't know if he's gonna make it to the fight. Salute my brother. Tank gonna KO Rolly within 5 because Rolly like to come forward with all that wild, crazy, non-defensive punching. A big part of what you just mentioned has validation and merit. All right, it does. But if Rolly is able to come forward, because Tank Davis, one thing I know about him, he takes breaks periodically, right? And he said it on Brian Custer's Last Stand podcast. He said that Tank doesn't like boxing off the back foot. So therefore, what do you think Rolly's mentality and strategy is going to be heading to that fight with Tank? He's going to apply pressure, like you just said. But how is he going to apply pressure? Because I don't see Rolly applying pressure like Isak Cruz because his skill set isn't there yet. His skill set isn't Isak Cruz. So one thing I know, just like I said about Edgar Berlanga gets in close, and let's just say Damon Nichols, how he was letting his hands go on the inside. Edgar wasn't throwing on the inside, but yet he tried to make adjustments. Right foot slide back, and then he tried to load up with the right hand. What is Rolly going to do to get on the inside? He's going to try to lead with a power shot, push him up against the ropes, and once he in the ropes, he want to try to do what? Because he doesn't box well on the inside. We know that. So if you're going to force Gervonta Davis to box off the back foot, you have to present him with something other than power shots, bro. You have to give a jab. You have to have some type of key to unlock that door to start breaking Gervonta down. You can't just keep on running around and chasing him and forcing the box off the back foot and loading up on every shot. You can't do that shit with Tank. He's too smart. So that's a damn good point you made. What is it going to be? What is Rolly going to do? Because we've seen him apply pressure. But how are you going to make it applicable to breaking down Tank Davis? How, bro? What are you going to present that's going to have Gervonta second guessing himself? That's our question. Because you have to break him down. Like Isaac Cruz was having some success. He didn't give Tank any time to take a break. So Tank was boxing off. You're talking about the heaviest hit in the game right now. I'm talking about outside Deontay Wilder, Tank Davis, right? Isaac Cruz, was forcing him because he had damn good defense, bro. Like that peekaboo style really doesn't work for everybody. But with Cruz, man, I salute him. They've been working like a champ in the gym. And I was impressed. And if somebody say a champ has been born tonight, and then the post fight, they say, would you get a rematch with Isaac Cruz? He say, hell no. I'm like, why not? Give a man a fucking rematch. But the only thing about it, who's going to get better? Is Tank going to get better or Isaac Cruz going to get better? Because if you're a guy like Tank that's fighting on that level of eliteness, I think the second fight with Isaac Cruz would be just like Mayweather Maidana 2. It looked a little bit difficult in the first one, but he pretty much got down, go to an easy victory with Isaac Cruz in the second one. It's called making adjustments. Mitch say Blair is a better fighter than Tank. Stop it. Somebody get the cup. For real. Somebody need to test that urine ASAP. You know what I should have did? I should have went into my community and goddamn put Blair name, Blair the Flair, and all that other shit as words that are prohibited from being in my live chat. I was up there hyping Blair up. I gotta get an interview with Blair. I gotta get hell no, shawty. I ain't doing that to myself. Rocha ain't punching like Tank. Rocha ain't a KO artist like Tank. No, Rocha looked good with Blair the Flair, but you have to understand that Rocha is at 147 and Tank is at 35. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference with that. Two different weight classes. Being at Combat Sports, you said Tank likes to take punches, but that's not true. Tank is cautious until he gets hit, until he assesses the power. He did it with Barrios, Gamboa, and Pedraza. Okay, when I say you mentioned, I said Tank likes to take punches. Let me explain. Sometimes Tank plays with his food. So he may sometime pull punches. He might get it out of you to see, what your power like, what he's dealing with. I've seen it in sparring and I've seen it in fights. Look at the Leo Santa Cruz fight. He was pulling it out of him. He wanted to see what Leo had, what he was working with. They call that playing with your food. Like he wanted to kind of play around and see how much damn, strength what he's dealing with. I'm saying how tenacious was his opposition. Do he have a real threat in front of him? And then he started making the adjustments. Perfect example, right before the knockout. What was he pulling out of Leo? What was he pulling? He had Leo up there. Boom. Right hand again. Then he slipped it. Boom. Left uppercut. Lights out. That's what I meant by Gervonta would take some shots. I seen Gervonta take some shots, but he's always up to something. You know what I'm saying? When he's taking those shots, he's up to something. He don't take shots the whole fight, but when it comes time for him playing around, he want to feel out his opponent a different way and this, that, and the other. He'll take some shots because he's trying to see what he's dealing with. That's all I was trying to say about that. Not like taking Blair Cobb shots. He ain't up here taking Blair the Flair shots. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to do that. Has anybody even heard from Blair yet lately? Anyway, I wasn't comparing their power. Rocha seemed angry in his fight with Cobbs, like he wanted to punish. Tank doesn't fight like that. He's a cooler customer in the ring. True, absolutely true. I'm pretty sure of all the shit Rocha was talking. Blair was talking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rocha was feeling some type of way, man. I'm pretty sure his barometer of patience was low. But the one thing they tell you, you don't go in there and fight with all that negative energy. But he was in there with Blair that couldn't do shit about it. Blair wanted to match the energy for energy. Tank, he's going to set you up. He's going to start setting traps. He's going to goddamn try to make you even more upset by punishing you. Tank is a smart ass fighter, man. Rolly reaction time is also slow. And when he's on the move, he has poor balance. I see somebody has been assessing for real, because Rolly does have slow reaction. And if you go back on my live when he finished fighting Jackson Mariñez, right? Rolly was like, he wasn't even talking the way he was talking on Brian Custer podcast. Like when he spoke on Brian Custer podcast, he seemed like he had brain food, like he had, neurological enhancers for response. Like if you look at the post-fight interview they did on him, he was kind of stuttering a little bit, looked like he was hesitant. His recall memory wasn't there, just like was just said, by Ben. Reaction time, it seems like his recall memory was slow. And then you go back to the Jackson Mariñez fight. Jackson Mariñez was a better fighter, but he didn't have any power. And he clearly beat Rolly in that fight. But in Connecticut, Mayweather Promotions, they got one over on him. You know what I'm saying? And then, Jackson Mariñez couldn't get a rematch. He couldn't even recover from that. He ended up being knocked out by Richard Comey. Good assessment there, Ben, for real. Andrew said, of course, it was Blair, so it probably wasn't too hard for Rocha to perform like that. I'm a realist. Yeah. Goddamn, Blair was giving him that furious energy, and Rocha said, cool. Let's see who wheel breaks first. Let's go. Tank has better technique than Rocha altogether, but I disagree that Tank doesn't punch angry or with bad intentions. You can see it in Tank's face. See, it's a difference between punching with an expression to show that you putting some power in that. That's just like natural. It's not too many boxers out here that can punch with pure power, maximize power without showing an expression. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Tank's expression when he was drawing out Leo Santa Cruz, that them two right hands. And then look at his expression as he slipped to the left and shot that uppercut. Yeah, he's going to put some goddamn whipped cream on that motherfucker. He's going to put some whipped cream on that uppercut, dog. Because he wanted Leo Santa Cruz to taste that shit right before he went to sleep. You know how when you were small, they used to give you cocoa. You want some hot cocoa before you go to sleep? Yes. You want some whipped cream? Yeah. He gave him some hot cocoa, dog, before he put him to sleep. Leo just didn't know it was an Ambien in that motherfucker too. Rocha handled Blair like he was easy work because he knew Blair didn't belong in there with him. Man, Blair, man, I can't continue to talk. I got to get to this podcast. Here's Brian Custer podcast. I want you to listen to some things he talked about with Rolly.
Listen to what I'm saying. Man, at the end of the day, you're gonna listen to shit I say, and they're not gonna believe anything I say until I prove it. So it's just, I'm gonna just let these do the talking. But let's say it like this: I'm always right. Always right. I say something and it happens. I say something and it happens. I mean, even this fight, man, I was talking about it for damn near 3-4 years since 2017. So I speak. I manifested things into existence. Do
you enjoy being the underdog in this fight?
Fuck yeah. More money. Hey, bet your house, bet everything you got. Y'all gonna make a lot of money together. Y'all gonna see this. Bet everything you got. rich, everybody gets rich.
See, and that's the type of thing there where some people be like, okay, then other people be like, this guy's delusional. What is he talking about? He's going up in the ring against Tank Davis. Give me your response to that.
They could go bet over there and lose all their money.
See, right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I always tell people jokingly that I took psychology in college, right? And the couple credits I have, I think I'm able to give you a prognosis outside the professional qualifications that is required. Rolly and the way he's laughing and being so jovial with Brian leads me to think that he has some type of brain food. You know, he has some type of upper. Something that's giving him energy to talk. Like he's very smiley. Giggly. He's being a little bit quirky, so to speak. The kid in him is coming out, responding. That's why Brian Custer's laughing the way he is. Put your money on it, bet the house on me. That tells me from the usual Rolly I'm used to seeing is that he's feeling a different type of way. You know what I'm saying? He's feeling more exuberant. It's something that's giving him more energy, allowing him to be more attentive to the conversation because this is not him. This is usually not the way he is.
I have a gambling problem. I like gambling a lot. I tend to live off gambling.
And you're saying you're betting the house on Rolly Romero in this fight.
I'm betting everything. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. You think I would? I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think my arrogant, cocky ass would let myself down?
I'm telling you, you're a best. I'm telling you, you're something. You listen. Here's the crazy thing about Rolly Romero because you control guys with the best of them, and then guys come right back at you, right? And so Shakur Stevenson, who's got this fight coming up, he says, "quote I got this fight tanked by a knockout. I think Rolly sucks. I think he's one of the worst boxers in boxing history," is what he told Fight Hype. What's your response to that?
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Didn't Lil B-Hop say something like that, like literally the week that he fought and got his ass beat right now by Hector Luis Garcia, who I was sparring getting ready for Tank. I'm not gonna go into details of what happened in the sparring, because I respect him and he's a champion.
Let me pause right there. All right. So this is what I'm talking about, people. I like the interview. Really, I appreciate the interview. Real talk. I do appreciate everything about this interview. Brian Custer read off a negative comment from Shakur Stevenson, the current reigning WBO junior lightweight champion. He read out a negative comment that said that Tank would knock Rolly out in 5 rounds. That's a negative comment. Now you have to reflect back. If this question would have been addressed and directed at Mel Charlo, the reaction would have been 10 times different. You know what I'm saying? The hellfire of vulgarity and obscenity, whatever you want to call it, it would have became belligerent so quick. Rolly shook that shit off like this dude is in a calming state of mind when he hearing this shit. He didn't even get upset. Now he's talking about Hector Garcia, how I went in sparring. He's not even really talking no crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? But he pretty much diverted the attention over to Chris Colbert. And he's saying he was talking that shit. And, Chris Colbert was stopped by Garcia. And then he linked it up to him sparring Garcia and saying, you know what? Look what Garcia did to Chris Colbert. Look what I did to damn Garcia. I'm just telling you what type of man you're dealing with. That's pretty much what Rolly was saying in the calmest of manner, bro.
But regardless, people that tend to talk a lot of shit about me, for some reason, they just end up getting their ass beat really bad. really, really bad. So, and just because I don't fight that stupid, that IPBA shit that that they've been promoting for years, because I didn't start boxing when I was like in Pampers. I started boxing at 7 years. I might actually be the fastest world champion of all time, and people don't even realize that. I mean, I did it with 7 years of boxing experience, but I suck. But I skipped from 6 rounds to 12 rounds. But I
True.
that I literally never declined to fight, but I suck. That I just kept pressing and pressing and pressing and fighting whoever the hell they put in front of me. But I suck. I'm not over here picking and choosing like all these other guys. I fight whoever the hell.
I'm gonna take a pause from Rolly because it does get a little bland. Banality is real. Tank gets hit a lot. That's documented. He just ain't been hurt. Tank does get hit a lot. And that's what I was trying to imply earlier. I've seen him get hit a lot when he was taking his breaks. But you have to be totally understanding that he's loading up while he's taking a break. He's replenishing his gas tanks. Once those gas tanks reach a certain level where he can goddamn start in his enforcement once again, it's gonna come hell and high water. It's gonna come fast and furious. It's gonna come in the most beautiful boxing goddamn delegation you can think of. His boxing authority is gonna be brutal, and you got to be willing to deal with it. See, the one thing about Isaac Cruz, he didn't wait for him to power up and give him an opportunity. He kept pressing. So he really forced Tank to try to make pit stops in between. Hold, create space, boxing off the back foot. Any which way how that he's able to regenerate, his energy and shit. Rolly can't apply the educated pressure that Cruz did. He doesn't have the footwork or the ring IQ to dictate Tank to stay in defense. Rolly might come forward, but it would be but will it be effective? I doubt it. Solid point, bro. Solid point. We totally understand and link up on he doesn't have the footwork or the ring IQ to dictate Tanks to stay in defense. Absolutely. Totally agree on that. Him coming forward, we've seen him come forward with previous opponents, and it wasn't anything special. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look how sloppy it looked. Like most of the time when he was coming forward, he wasn't even leading, he wasn't even leading with an effective jab. Like you can see he was trying to jab to the body, but most of the time he's comfortable with just walking. He has something that Berlanga doesn't have. And I'm just mentioning Berlanga because he believes in his power too. Okay? So with Berlanga scooting forward the way he does, the one thing Rolly will do is actually fire off his right hand. Rolly will fire that motherfucker. He will send it. Rolly will send that shit. Berlanga will wait. Rolly will send that shit with authority. Even though he might, miss, he goes right back. Boom. Distance. Okay, send. That's him. Tank throws a lot of straight punches and he punches with you, and his transition from offense to defense is ridiculous. Rolly punches are wide and he gets caught a lot in between it. Man, Tank is a masterful boxer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, you get to see these cats on TV, but then seeing the fight in person is different. And then if you have the grand opportunity to see them work out, do an open workout, and actually spar in person, it'll totally change everything that that you've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk about the Brian Norman Jr. and Tank Davis sparring. In my opinion, from the sparring have witnessed, those two, that was like a legendary sparring session. Like, of course, Gervonta is not going to give Brian Norman any credit for labeling him in that sparring session as something that's legendary in his mind, because he's been in plenty of sparring sessions. There's been people that get the best of him supposedly and people that don't. But I know for a fact that that shit would have been recorded rather, both sessions. That shit would have had millions upon millions of views. Millions upon millions of views. People would have looked at Tank and Brian differently. They would have said, these dudes are absolutely insane, bro. They are insane. They was not fighting on the clock. I done seen this shit at the Mayweather's gym. I'm telling you, this shit was in a smaller ring. I can't tell you how many bodies was up in there. I can't tell you. It was packed. Smaller ring, not too many places to run. And we're talking about off the clock, dog. Bombs over GA. That's what that shit was. Oh shit. I meant Blair was a better fighter than Rolly. I mean, we can say a lot of people that's a better fighter than Rolly. We can say a lot of people because we don't put that respect tag on Rolly automatically when it comes to his boxing skills because he just haven't tied into a consistency yet. We need him to tie into a consistency when it comes to his performance and show us that he has fundamentals of boxing nailed to a T. Like, we know you strong. We know you aggressive. We know you have that rugged dog in you. We need to see, can you be a technically sound boxer? Not Ricardo Mayorga. We seen Ricardo Mayorga. He made it up to a certain point. Boom, it was over. Done. Y'all know that shit was a mistype only because of the difference in power with Rolly previous opponents. I figured. Tank stated later in the interview he will fight Cruz again, and this time he will stop him. Yeah, he's not gonna fight him immediately though. Yeah, you're right, but he wasn't worried about Leo's power. Leo, at the end of the day, I can agree with Tank not being worried, so to speak. But still, with Tank, he wanted to kind of get an idea of what Leo was going to present to him. Like, how can you not be worried about Leo's power and you have never felt it? Like, he never boxed Leo, and I'm pretty sure they never went in there to spar one another. So he just wanted to know the rate for which Leo was going to be sending those punches, because Leo did have a pretty respectable volume that he kept up with his punch output. And for Tank, he just wanted to see what he was dealing with. All right, how am I going to go about slowing Leo Santa Cruz down? Because we already understand that he has a respectable volume punch numbers. We respect that. But I have to find out what I can do to slow that down. And if you look at that fight early on, he was waiting for Leo to come forward. That's what he was trying to assess. Okay, is he gonna come forward the whole fight? What is he providing for me? And early in the fight, look at how Gervonta was pulling his uppercuts. Like, he was trying to set Leo for that uppercut because he was coming forward. Leo recognized that Tank was trying to be a counter striker, and he was trying to milk him and bring him in and lure him in for that right uppercut. And he started to slow the fuck down. Not so much with his punches, but coming forward like he was. He started being smart because Tank pulled two of them motherfuckers. And Leo was like, okay, he's trying to land that motherfucker already. Let me slow down and be a bit smarter with my approach with Tank Davis, because he definitely trying to send those uppercuts on the counter shot. Come back, read that shit. I had to scroll up. Like, who the fuck wrote that? It was me. Total mistake. Hope the boxing gods forgave me. Man, that didn't even make it up to the boxing gods, because the angels in between that, Mitch, they pretty much knew sometime people got shit going on. You could be driving. I'm going to, assume that you might have been driving, or, you know what I'm saying, not 100% focused on what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no time out over here, you know. You're not going to get timed out for fucking up. But just know you fucked up, dog. You know you fucked up. For real. You know you fucked up. Remember, people that's on this live, they're gonna remember how you fucked up. He's happy he got a check coming. He's probably had to return that fur coat when they canceled this fight. I think, to be honest with you, I think that was temp loaned anyway from Blair. Blair said, "Hey man, I see you doing what you doing, man. I like what you doing, man. You know me in the streets, man. I'm up here doing my thing, man. I said what I said with Spence and all that, but check this out. You want to be me, man? Take this, man. Wear that out there. Stun on Gervonta Davis, man. That's what we do over here, man. Hustle and flow, man. Me and you, man. That's what we do, man. Don't let them tell you nothing else, man. Talk your shit, man. And just like I'm about to do with Rocha, man. I'm about to talk my shit, man." He's yeah, you can't fight angry. Your reflexes slow down. You get fatigued faster. Your focus diminish and you get anxious. One thing Rolly said in this interview too was that he's a bigger guy than Tank. All right. And he totally has to get this through his head that Tank is used to boxing big guys. So that's nothing different with him, you being bigger. He said, I'm big for the division, but I can cut weight pretty easily. That is the truth. But you have to understand, a guy like Tank is used to fighting big guys, and he's pretty much, that's almost like his profile. Like, he loved to fight a bigger, taller guy. You know what I'm saying? That's his profile right now. Tank is used to that shit. Did Rolly say Lopez was going to beat Kambosos? Hey, him and Teofimo Lopez are really good friends, bro. Really. When I say really good friends, Rolando Romero and Teofimo Lopez are really good friends, man. Rolly jab is ugly as hell. I didn't even know he had a jab. Do he have a jab, Andrew? I don't think he had a jab, bro. Black Belt Ben is saying, did they actually go 20 rounds? Bro, check this out. How many minutes are in a round? When it comes to sparring, it's different, right? Sometimes people go 4 minutes around. Sometimes people go 3 minutes around. But the hardcore fighters, most of the time, they go 4-minute rounds in sparring, bro. They go 4 minute. They go 4. So look at this right here. Look at this right here. What if you took it upon yourself to say, it's no bail, right, Ben? It's no bail. So we're gonna do simple mathematics. This is not to be facetious or talk down on you. I'm just being descriptive, all right? So you take 3 minutes, right? And you times that, times 10. 3 minutes per round times 10 is 30 minutes. All right. That's if you're doing 3 minutes per round. I don't know if they was doing 4-minute rounds, because the first time they was on the clock, they did 4 rounds on the clock. And before you know it, they was off the clock because there was so much trash talking between camps. And they only did 4 rounds on the clock. That I know. All right. They only did 4 rounds. The rest was like damn near over 30 minutes of just straight up all out assault. So they took a day off and came back Wednesday. Wednesday started without any clock, bro. Any clock. No clock. Glove for glove. Punch for punch. Mano y mano. It seemed like forever that they was in the ring. I'm talking about, this was a smaller ring too, at the Grindhouse. Shout out to Coach Mustafa. It was a smaller ring. That's a ring he used to have. He has a regulation ring now. But he had a very small ring at first. And they was off the clock from the very beginning. That's all I'm gonna say about it. That shit is not to be exaggerated. They was never on the clock the second sparring session. And that shit was wicked, dog. I'm serious. That sparring session was wicked. That shit was wicked, man. Them body shots Tank was hitting Leo with was something vicious. Yeah, man, he was trying to pull it out of him. You know, he did pull it out of him. He wanted to see what Leo had. I was ringside, man. I was looking at the whole motherfucking fight. I was like, this the shit that you don't see on TV, but you can feel it in person. You can feel what's going on. Leo was landing some shots on Tank because he allowed him to. Tank allowed Leo because he was trying to feel him out. Tank went into this like high guard defense, and he was letting Leo get off on him, almost to say, you know what, I want you to show me something. Like, let me know what I'm dealing with, Leo. You know what I'm saying? You're a 4-weight champion. Let me know what I'm dealing with, dog. And then he started goddamn slowly and methodically breaking Leo Santa Cruz down, man. And I seriously think, for real, I seriously thought that Leo was dead. Like, Leo's not the first boxer I've seen get knocked out cold. I'm talking about, you go to these regional fights, you see fighters get knocked out stupid. But Leo Santa Cruz, I thought, had passed away. When Gervonta hit him and he dropped on that ring apron, I said, oh my goodness, man. He's done. He's done, man. He's done. It's no more. That's how brutal it was. People was running around, cheering and shit. It was such a brutal knockout, man. It's one of those brutal knockouts you'll see. It was a brutal fucking knockout, man.
They put in front of me, and you can ask Louis de Cuba.
Style. Does any of that bother you at all?
I used to have the fucking funny ass voice. The sound. I think that's just trademarked. I think everyone that does it needs to be fucking $20 each. And my boxing style. I mean, I'm gonna give you an example. Manny Pacquiao has one of the ugliest styles I have ever seen, and he's an 8-division world champion. And he's one of the legends in the sport, which that brought boxing to the Philippines. And he has y'all could say whatever y'all want with my style, but Manny Pacquiao is one of the ugliest styles I've ever seen in my life. So they can all shut the fuck up.
All right. Listen, I'm going to name some of the top fighters in your division. I want to hear your take on each one of them. Let's start with George Kambosos.
He got he fought injured, lack of sparring Teofimo, and he made the most of it. And he still looked like shit that fight, but he looked better than an injured dude that didn't spar for a month and a half. So congratulations, he's not going to be there too much longer.
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia is a great fighter. He punches really hard with his left hook. The only person Ryan can't beat is depression.
Devin Haney.
A joke.
Okay.
You saw how the shot he gave to the only thing Ryan Garcia can't beat is depression. I mean, look, Rolly's on his shit in this interview, for real. Rolly gained some more fans in this interview because he's on point with his shit. You know, when I was trying to explain to people about Teofimo Lopez being injured, they was like, you're just making up excuses. I wasn't making up excuses because the fighters that I support heavy, I want them to fight the best. And I've heard that about T.O. before he was stepping in there, but the fight was so big, you know what I'm saying? They wanted the fight to happen. He had to go in there less than 100%.
Let me ask you this. Who does Rolly Romero enjoy watching fight? Like when that person's in the ring, you say, you know what, let me pull up and watch this guy because I think he's talented.
They can talk all the shit they want. But every single time I see a fucking Deontay Wilder fight, I see like real like front row. And man, I enjoy watching every single Deontay Wilder fight. I don't care what anyone says. I love it.
And see, you know, let me split something up, right? You remember Teofimo, and I got on him for this for for telling Deontay to stop acting like or stop being a bitch or whatever his words was. But his boy Rolly, they're very good friends. His boy Rolly is a Deontay Wilder fan. So, I look at them as being able to think for themselves and not being followers and sheep, because Rolly didn't sit up here and hate on Deontay just because Teofimo Lopez had to say what he had to say.
I like punchers, man. I like punchers. I like punchers.
What do you think? We have Errol Spence Ugas coming up. What do you think about that?
I think that's a trickier fight than people think. I think Ugas is really good against southpaws, and Errol, like if it was pre-accident, I would pick Errol. But the thing is, like after the accident, it seems like he's a little bit more passive. And Ugas has, like I said, Ugas finds a way to learn that loopy right hand over and over again. So I really don't know who wins that fight. May the best man win. And I think it's going to be a really good fight. And I think a lot of people are underestimating Ugas completely. But I think it's going to be a really good fight.
How about Charlo Castano for the undisputed title at 154?
I think, Castano gave him a Charlo call from the first one. Because I found that card, yeah. I found that card. I was the underdog. Undercard. I fought Giga, some fat dude. But I think Charlo's going to come out a lot stronger this time around. But Castano can crack. Castano, man, I remember because like we're at the lands, right? And I was like, I looked at Castano, right?
That's irrelevant to my life. Fast forward.
The box form is not good. The box form is not good. The boxer, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So what Rolly was just saying, he no longer goes by Rolly Romero. He goes by the boxer formerly known as Rolando Romero. So he go by the boxer right now. Once again, funny, goofy type shit has been going on, but it doesn't seem like he's inebriated or under influence. He's just responding in a goofy manner that they can get away with. You know what I'm saying? People like Rolly.
I knew that was coming too. I knew it. John from Twitter asks, will you move up to 140 after the Davis fight?
It depends, It may not. I mean, I'm a big boy, but I make weight relatively easy. Like, I make weight actually easier probably than the rest of the 135 pounders. So, it depends. I think I'm going to be better.
He's gone at you a number of times. I know you've gone at him. What's the source of beef there?
I think he's just jealous because I'm better looking.
Let me back up.
He does not sell any fights. Even in his home looking to fight them, but I'm not looking away to fight them, I'll tell you somebody that it's a complete waste of time fighting is Devin Haney, because he just doesn't fight anybody. And he's not marketable. He does not sell any fights. Even in his hometown, he cannot sell a fight, so he's a waste of time.
What's the source of the beef there? Because, man, he's gone at you a number of times. I know you've gone at him. What's the source of beef there?
I think he's just jealous because I'm better looking.
Okay. I'll leave it at that. Nat from Twitter asks, how has having a black belt in judo influenced your boxing style?
I'm going to tell you, you understand leverage a little bit more. You're just, this makes you a lot more physically strong, and you get into these positions a lot where people are like, oh, Rolly, you're off balance. Like, I purposely fight off balance because that's where I find my balance. Like I said, I do it.
Now, the whole interview, that was the most dumbest shit I heard him say. He said he purposely fight off balance. It's just the dumbest shit. Now I think whatever he's taking is starting to kick in real nice, or it's about, to hit that release point, because you being a black belt in judo, okay, it's not difficult to get a black belt in judo. It's according to who your teacher, your professor is. I've seen martial arts belt mills all over the place. All you got to do is pay for the form. You go in there and complete the form. If it's not to their standard, you're complete again, and you get promoted in your belt. It's a bit different than BJJ, of course. We're talking about martial arts. But him being a black belt in judo, and what he said made sense, was about leverage, because judo does have grappling and throws. But to say that you fight off balance on purpose is just idiotic. Idiotic. Let me get to some of these comments in the chat. Rolly jab is ugly. Did they actually go 20 rounds? I was asking just because I heard Norman say it. Man, I'm telling you, man, if Brian Norman said they went 20 rounds, they went 20 rounds. Like I've hashed it. Look, I've hashed it out so much to the point where I know he caught some slack from a certain promotion about all the interviews he did and stuff. So you don't hear me really talk about it, but every now and then, because I don't want him, for people to reach out to him to try to talk about, talk about the sparring, because I felt that he might have got blackballed a little bit for speaking about the sparring. But I spoke about the sparring. I spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? I spoke on it because I was there. But for him, he was on interviews. That shit hit the damn social media waves, and that shit was on fire, bro. They heard what happened in the sparring. That shit was on fire. You know what I'm saying? But if Brian told him they went, man, believe what he's talking about. He was there. He was in the ring. Shit. He was actually fighting. He talking about Pac-Man style, but he has the fast hands and, more important, fast feet. He does, man. Pacquiao calves are quadmatic. Pacquiao have like quad calves. This dude has some of the biggest calves, man. And he did have fast hands. Hold on for a second. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the craziest shit he said in this interview. But overall, I like the interview. He said he'll knock Tank Davis out in the first round. That he's gonna have to own up to. Listen, okay, Blair the Flair Cobb was stopped on his feet, and he was still swinging and shit like that. Okay, that's not gonna save Rolly. If he's not knocked out cold, right? Just say he's not knocked out cold. It's not gonna save him, because Blair talked so much, like he was talking so much shit about, these fighters and everything, and how tough he was and how big and bad. He got beat down, right? But he was on his feet. He wasn't laying out on the canvas. Rolando Romero goes in there with Tank Davis. If he gets stopped and the referee stops the fight, he's going to face the same fate as Blair the Flair. There's no passes. There's no passes. The amount of shit he's talking about Tank, and he's going to knock him out in one round. If he goes in there and do it, he's on a whole nother planet when it comes to his star power. Rolly has become this megastar overnight, even bigger than Esau Cruz. And that will more than likely be his next opponent. If he goes in there and defeats Tank, Esau Cruz will probably be his next opponent, because they want to see two, hitters go in there that's going to give you action. Anyway, Rolly's going to have to go in there and get the job done, point blank, period. Point blank, period. Rolly's going to have to get the job done. And I don't have no reason to sit up here and hate Rolly. I don't have no hate or dislike for Rolly, but my guy is Tank. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those deals where Rolly's a good dude, in my opinion. Rolly is a good dude, in my opinion. I know he listened to shit. I know he probably felt some type of way about, what I said about him. because when I was in San Antonio, he didn't want to do an interview with me. But it's all good. Boxers, they gonna get in their feelings sometime they ain't. But he has a tough fight coming up with Gervonta. I hope the hand is healed properly, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that read off that banner in Floyd Mayweather's gym. Rolly said, "A true champion can adapt to anything." And you're going to have to make those adjustments in there with Gervonta Davis, because he's going to be doing it with you. And you're going to have to do it also. Coming in there, loading up on your power shots and being predictable. I just don't see you getting to Tank like that. You don't want to fight where Tank is up. You know, it's going to be goddamn. By the time you're in the 7th round, you don't even put 1 round away. It's 6-1. You know what I'm saying? They got 6-1. You don't want that shit. Because now you're going to bank on whatever cardio you think you have to go in there with Tank, who has proven that his power transfer in the 12th round into the championship rounds. Just ask Gamboa. His power transferred to late rounds. Just ask Mario Barrios. You know what I'm saying? So seeing the Tank get tired and all that, if you're going to pressure him, you got to do shit to make him fucking tired. You got to punch him. You got to land some shots. You miss, he going to make you pay. Rolly has said that before about Ryan. That's his memorized punchline. Okay. All right. Right. I didn't know that. He said one thing he can't beat is suppression. He will be roasted with the rest of them if he gets stumped. He will, Andrew. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely going to, it's going to be a problem. But what I can say about him in closing is the fact that Rolly sound much better than I'm used to seeing him, hearing him speak. There's a lot of things goes on with these boxers. Like, they want to look very well in front of, in an interview. I'm convinced, you know what I'm saying? As much as I don't want to put that off on him, it just seems like there was some type of, I'm trying to find the best word possible without saying medication. Supplement. That's the healthy neutral. It seems like he was on some type of supplement to help with his cognizant thought process. That's what it is. Because the way he was responding, the way he was calm, very carefree, wasn't mad and angry. He wasn't getting on emotion. Charlo need to call up damn Rolly, because in my opinion, Rolly, he ran over the Charlo interview like a speed bump, bro. Way better interview. Way better interview. And to be honest, I think, like I said earlier, I think Rolly has gained more fans off this interview. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But let me give a big shout out to 2 people who used my content today and actually gave me a shout out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shout out to Everything Boxing, Keon. He did use the audio. I appreciate you giving a shout out to the video. And also Blue Blood Sports. I appreciate y'all, because there's some other cats out there that took the audio and they just look like they don't even know. Like they using my voices on there and Roy's voice, and we're talking, and they only want to give you a shout out. You know what I'm saying? So the only 2 people I know right now that's basically regulars is Everything Boxing and Blue Blood Sports. And listen, I'm happy to even be able to speak to the champ. I think that's the one time he actually been on camera, showed his face on YouTube. It's not the first time he's been on YouTube in an interview though. But regardless, Team Williams was the overall encompassing measure for me. I wanted to have Roy Jones, their trainer, and I wanted to have the team on there. All of us was on the same panel together. That was my thought process. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk to the fighters, from Michael Williams Jr. to Fernando Bunch to Andrew Murphy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk, and especially I wanted to talk to Mike Mike, because I haven't had the time to chop it up with him since his first loss. So be sure y'all check out that video, man. I dropped it on IG. I had to get around to talking with Mike just so he can talk to his fans and give them his overall assessment on how he felt that night. And I got to give even though I don't mention his name like that, because certain people ran with it, but I definitely got to give a shout to John Bowser. He got the job done. He's not a punk. Bowser has that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? And he got the job done. Mike was stupid drained that for that fight. And I truly believe it'll be different in 47. Will we ever see it? I don't know. But one thing I'm not going to do, just because his team acted like they didn't have no sense and came at me the way they did because of snakes over here on YTC, I still, John Bowser never did anything to me. I covered John Bowser before in Newark. I have pictures of his fight, and I attempted to cover him. I do have pictures of that fight with him and Michael Williams Jr. I do. I have pictures on that fight too, but he ain't do shit to me. I thought everything was cool, and then they started talking. But I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna keep on hyping on that shit. But the main thing was, I appreciate y'all for citing the content. And I want to give a big shout out to Team Williams and Roy Jones Jr. It's a lot of traction. Believe it or not, it's a lot of traction from that interview with people doing what I initially put out there with Paul Pierce. You know what I'm saying? People are catching on. That shit is like catching its rounds, man. There's a lot of people talking about that shit with Paul Pierce. And I was probably the first one to put this shit out there because I'm listening to the interview from Mike Tyson podcast. And I said, I gotta talk to Roy about this shit. Because what is he thinking you own? Like, Roy ain't to be fucked with, dog. Like, what was Pierce thinking to say that you want to call up the homies on Roy, though? I don't know. Was it the weed? I don't know why he would think Roy's a chump like that. I appreciate it, Andrew. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, there's so many people say you out here D-riding and shit like that. I'm like, man, I'm too mature, man. I used to be in charge of shit in the military, man. D-ride, man. These guys need to grow up for real. Like, man, Team Williams, regardless of what happened, man, we family, man. We out. That shit is family, bro. There's a lot of shit that got started that I give credit to. A lot of people just try to have Roy on because they don't give a damn about the upcoming fighters. But I've seen all of those fighters that was on the panel fight more than once. More than once, man. I mean, I've seen Roy several times over, man. So my whole point was to get the team on here. They got to fight. All three of those guys are going to be in the fight card next month in Alabama. That was where my support was at. I've seen Roy before. I've been down to his property several times. I've been to fight cards where he was at. You know what I'm saying? Roy seen me outside of Team Williams Jr., still spoke to me and everything. It's a pleasure, man. That's a legend, bro. That's a legend, for real. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, man, y'all know what it is. I got to bounce. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Check the live out, subscribe to the channel first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And once again, the people who use the content, I gave you a shout out. I appreciate your professionalism and citing where you got the info at, because I have seen some other cats out there that gave me any credit for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they using my damn audio. But I ain't gonna look, I'm not gonna be petty. I'm not gonna report your shit. I'm not gonna be petty. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to watch the whole video. Hopefully you watch the whole video and you look at the other fighters that's coming up and you can understand where I'm coming from, But until next time, man, y'all hold it down. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man. I'm out.